ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Parish Council, and welcome to Mr Thorpe as our representative. Hopefully you'll get to many of them, so yes, and give us a report of what's going on.
I'll see what we can do for you.
Thank you. Right, our apologies for absence.
Yes, our apologies from Councillor Dixon, Councillor Innes and Councillor Jones.
Okay. Any declarations of interest from anyone? No. No? No. We've got the minutes. Has anyone got any queries for the little, what we've got? It was the AGM, wasn't it? And then we've got the small. Yes, has anyone got any queries on that?
A copy of the April, there's the April one.
And the April one. Right, thank you. I thought Chris's talk at the AGM was pretty good. Informative. I learned a few things I didn't know. Yeah. We haven't heard any more about the parking strategy, have we?
I did hear somewhere, I haven't been able to verify this, that has been dropped.
Ah,
I don't,
okay.
well, I heard it from somewhere and I can't verify that.
I know I sat and watched it, you know, I represented the council at it.
Is this to do with Melody?
No.
No, the parking strategy
For the holiday
district.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I did attend that one. It was an online one, and yeah, there were a few questions that being asked about some of it. Let's see what. Page 2. Not heard anything back about from the Premiership or about the post office. He hasn't heard anything. No. Probably take months, won't it? Yeah. Recreation grounds. Get that later on, can't we? That's something up on that. Natural matters. Second half deposit account.
I'll come to that in the financial report.
Okay. I know there was trouble with that, wasn't there? Okay. No, has anyone got any queries on that? If not, would anyone like to approve the minutes for April?
Proposer?
Any proposer for minutes for April? Seconder? Okay. Right.
Nothing very contentious on the AGM, but
Can I just ask, because I wasn't at that one, so the speed watch sessions for Lewisham Road, you know, they reported on what the outcome was from that, from the speed watch in the last meeting.
yeah.
But I'm just wondering, what are we planning to do with that? Are we planning to do anything with that, or what happens with that next?
To the planning and enforcement office, I think. Yeah, and they deal with.
I don't think we were given any actual statistics.
No, we're not. They don't do the statistics anymore.
Okay.
Unless they start doing them again, they
Because
stop
there
doing
were so
them.
many that were way over speed.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of flies in the face of what the traffic survey found.
Yeah.
That found
Yeah,
there was no
there
problem,
wasn't, yeah.
and that was over the course of a week. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether we had the time. If we had the time, the speed watch session was taken, we might be able to match it up with the time and the in the actual
Yeah,
survey,
yeah.
just see if there's a correlation between the two.
Okay.
Not really, no.
I was just
I
wondering
can-
if,
I can ask Mary
there's
about that.
anything that can happen as a result of it, or it can.
Some of them get sent
Okay.
letters. The parking
Okay.
department send them letters.
Thank you.
Right.
Do you have a proposal for the AGM minutes? Is that, should we do that as well?
Yep.
And a seconder? Thank you.
Right. To receive reports. Mr Thorpe, have you got anything to tell us at the moment? I know it's new and you've only been there a few weeks.
Well, not really. Apart from I noticed you just said about speeding. I had a virtual meeting on Tuesday last week with Highways Department, and they did mention about they've done something out River here.
Mm.
They had put
On
the
the top.
yeah, and they showed me all the actual charts for it,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed an average of about 8 mile an hour over the speed limit at different places. There's one or two which were, suspect, but the others were all there or thereabouts. And they can give you a breakdown and everything on there, but that's as far as I've touched really with things like that. But if there's anything you want me to look into further, I do have contacts there which I can, sort
Are
something
you
out
on
with.
the transport committee or?
I'm looking to. I'm looking to try and get involved in highways and
Yeah.
the transport side of things, as well as children's settings, that sort of thing. So it's the two departments
Okay.
I'm mainly looking at.
Would be interesting if you do. Yes. Parish councils. Clive, have you got anything?
No.
No. Christian?
Well, I'd just like to say, I've been obviously on the faith at the moment, mainly. And the only thing that we couldn't discuss, because we didn't have enough people there, was at the last meeting, was that I need some kind of rota done. I'm gonna miss the next meeting because I'm on holiday, but if I popped in like a rota for next meeting, could you kind of
Put it on the-
type that and fill that up, so we have all the schools filled up. Yes, that's all from me.
Okay. Okay. Do we have anyone? Oh,
Two things.
go on.
My favourite subject,
Oh, really?
which won't stop. The saga continues. 2 years
Oh,
in.
We're gonna
I
have to name
had,
it after you.
we will have to, that bus stop has to be called
We're gonna have to
House
have
of Stars Master Stop for sure.
We'll have to have an official opening.
So I had an email today from the managing director of Stagecoach South East. I've been in sporadic contact with him, and it was a very joyous email from him. I feel like we're now friends. To tell me that the bus stop flag sign is due to be delivered on the 6th of July. His words were, "We're reaching the end of the saga. New flag due 6th of July."
Is that due to them or due to be put up?
No. So we're halfway there. So the
Yeah.
stop, and it is a continuous problem because the bus doesn't
Does that
stop.
stop because it doesn't see it?
It won't collect passengers, and people can't get off. You press the button before, it won't stop there. So it is a problem.
Because there's no stop sign.
Yeah.
And if you're a driver that isn't used to the area, you won't stop. So it is a problem. Whilst it's minor, and we're laughing about it, it is frustration.
Well, it's not if you're trying to get off to.
No, exactly.
Yeah, you
Get
get
to
off
work,
that bus stop.
yeah.
So we're nearing the end of that saga, which was good fun. And then my other question, just going back to the missing bus stop shelter on Lewisham Road. So we had those couple of different scenarios of options that we could do. One was to install it ourselves and maintain it. The other one was this scheme that potentially was coming from KCC downwards. That contact has completely dried up at KCC now, as expected.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I mean, I'd assume it's will be delayed because of the election.
Okay.
It always stops for a couple of months.
But there was some bouncing around with the cost, wasn't there? Do you remember that? I
Yeah.
can't remember who said there. It was 10 or 20,000, and
Bus stop.
we were going to
What
query
shelter?
this. Yeah.
I mean, the costs for, the commercial suppliers it's a few thousand, 3 or
Yeah.
4
I
thousand.
say it didn't cost that much.
Depends on how
Mm.
good a stop you want, really.
I wonder if it's a question that we can think about when we do the summer fete. If it comes up in the feedback, if it's something that we want to push on.
Yeah, no, we need one there. I mean, that is
Yeah.
very windy along there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. A lot of people stop at that. Wait for a bus
Yeah, it's a
there.
busy stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fate.
That's from me.
The questions. Okay. Right.
So an update on the lamppost saga on Camper Road. We now have a lamppost.
Yeah.
We've had it for about 2 months now, but no light.
What?
Halfway there.
You mean they put the lamppost in but didn't connect the electricity to it?
Yeah, for whatever
Good
reason.
input bulb then.
It's probably the
Right.
bulb. Is there a
Just
bulb?
the
in there?
park.
Don't know, it's too high up.
Oh my God.
But can you imagine that?
So
we
now
were all cheering, you know.
So we need,
No way.
that's highways.
Well, there was also a big electricity
power cut.
where it was a power cut for 18 hours down half of Camper Road as well.
I wonder if that's where they tried to put the light.
And it didn't work. I don't think it was a different
No.
issue, but
There's a light and no light.
Do you have a contact for the highways? Because I've got one if you need one.
Yeah, which one is the one you've got?
Tom, the gentleman I was dealing with, or had a meeting with, I'll just get his details, if it'll help you, and then that way you can probably email him. My phone's a bit, there we go, right, got loads of emails on here that I haven't managed to file away yet. For some reason I'm getting loads of emails every day for road closures.
You will.
Yes.
Once you go on there, you'll get all of them.
I get
Thomas Williams, so it's
Okay.
thomas.williams2@kent.gov.uk.
Right, okay.
And then if he's the highways, like the I was speaking to, so he might be able to help you or point you in the right direction of you'll be able to get it done for you.
Yeah, at Kent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Williams 2.
Yeah,
Okay, that's lovely, thank you.
Yeah, it's at kent.gov.uk.
Yeah. I've actually put myself down for a report because I've got a few things to catch up on.
Oh, good then.
There we are. Small amounts of movement on the Flint House. I decided to go back to the Kent FA and ask them if they would be our partner for the community use agreement, and they said they will.
Oh, brilliant.
They're just checking with rangers that they're happy with that. Can't imagine they won't be.
No.
And so they can sign it, and then we'll have the community use agreement in place,
Nice.
and we don't have to worry about DDC anymore. So then it's back
Does
to
that
the
override them then? Yeah.
well, as long as we've got that, we want the
Yeah.
signatory on that.
Oh,
and
brilliant.
so as soon as they're
Oh,
agreed and happy to it, we have that in place.
Brilliant.
Then it's the planning application. I've emailed the planning manager at Sporting and Joe Edwards and explained the full situation about both applications to her, and she is contacting planning from her end,
Oh, good.
seeing if she can push it
Yeah.
along. So at least it's something pushing from her end, because obviously she hasn't been asked to reconsult, and so she can ask them why they haven't asked her yet. So it's a little step
So
forward.
they didn't go back to her?
They haven't been.
Right.
They've been told by me several times that they can, and that Sporting and are happy to be reconsulted, but they haven't done it. So let's hope.
And we didn't get any feedback from our letter to for the play area.
Yes, I have. I've got that. I can bring that up in.
Okay.
Planning. The planters. I was in touch with the company today. They were supposed to have been delivered on the 30th of the 5th, estimated delivery date, but they've had production delays. So delivery date is in the week of the 23rd of June. So we should have them then. But they said they will get in touch with me to confirm a delivery date. They'll actually be going direct to the highways contractor who's putting them in for us. So that makes it easier. We don't have to be delivered.
And then they can
We can bring them straight out.
Yeah.
Actually, we were just relating this Dover, this London Road Highway survey, which we'd asked for, took place. I don't know if any of you travelled over the rumble strips when they were up there, but they were there for a week, and I have received the spreadsheets. I haven't put them on the agenda because it'll take me a little while
To
to
understand.
work out what they say. According to the email, she was saying that it's saying that the majority of traffic is underneath the limit. It's averaging 39 point something miles per hour in the 40 mile per hour limit. But I'll have to look through the sheet properly. But you can't print it. I mean, it's just I could do with a 30-inch monitor to sort of look at the thing.
Yeah.
But I'll look at it and I will put it on the agenda for next month so we can go through it and see if we can print out some bits of it. I emailed you the notes from the local government reorganisation briefing that I went to. I won't go through it here. It's still pretty much at an initial stage. I have a further meeting on the 19th of June, which is being organised by Calc. So I'll be getting the perspective from their point of view, and hopefully a bit more. bit more information. Well, you can read it all for yourselves, but they're not involving parish councils
not, are they?
in the
No.
consultation beforehand.
Mm.
Or in the final plan, which it would be due to submission to the government in November.
Town councils are not happy either.
No, I'm surprised. New community officer at DDC has started a clerks networking meeting, quarterly networking meeting, which was very useful. One of the subjects that came up was bus shelters. There's another clerk from another parish is similar to us. I can't think where it's from, but they had their bus shelter taken away and it's gone, and that's it. But I mean, the latest that I have heard, actually the community officer is going to speak to asset management and see what the current situation is. But the latest I'd heard, having initially been told it'll take about 9 months or so, and that date went past. They were then saying, well, there's actually no budget. There is a budget to maintain them with the contractors, but any replacements would have to come out of that budget. So we don't know.
It's part of maintaining them though, isn't it?
Yes, you had one in the first place.
Yeah.
If there aren't any, you don't need to maintain them. Yeah. So topics that came up at the meeting, speeding was a topic pretty much throughout the district, and speed limits. Also antisocial behaviour, which we've had in here. Nuisance bikes in places around the districts, and youths. I brought up the damage to the library, and also that eggs were being thrown at properties as well.
They've also pushed bushes over in front gardens, right over, so you've got to cut the shrub off.
And bins as well. It's something throughout the district. One of the biggest problems that everyone seems to be saying is it's reporting. That the police aren't getting the reports, aren't getting the information through, so they don't have it as intelligence and they don't know there's a problem. I've been provided with, well actually we've all been provided with information on how to report, where to report, and all of these sort of things, and I will be publishing those in a series of posts on our social media and on our website to hopefully encourage people to report these incidents. But the last time I had a meeting with the police, they were very clear that if they know there's a problem, then they can target resources, but they don't have resources to just spread all over the place. They have to target them at problems, and they were prepared to deal with it ASB if they know about it. Anything else coming up? Oh, there was talking about the lack of banking services. I mean, there's never been any banks in River, but that's been a problem throughout the district. And also talking about bins being damaged and removed and no replacements. It's a similar thing to the bus stops, really, that there's no money to replace bins, etc. The planning department came up in conversation. Slowness of decisions, lack of enforcement. That's every parish in the district is complaining about enforcement. And also lack of parking enforcement as well. They are actually going to be sending out, the community officer to start sending out QR code stickers which could go onto a bin, so if a bin is overflowing that you can report it via the QR code, which is something new.
They do come out, they've got that at Western Heights, they do come out. It might take them 2 days, but they do come out.
Yeah, I think there's anyone
I don't know if anyone's got any queries on those items. So I think I've emailed you everything to do with it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, questions from the members of public?
Yeah, I've been asked to find out what's happened to the no fishing notices.
Have they disappeared? Whereabouts? Everywhere, all of them, or just certain places?
Well, I noticed it as well after she mentioned it along Low Road.
Oh, right, okay. It's the same Mike, isn't he? He might know something about that. notices. They've all they've disappeared.
Probably at the bottom.
They probably are, but they need to be put back, obviously. Yeah.
And there are some bushes along Low Road. Now, I don't know, they're starting to encroach onto the pavement. I don't know whether that's the responsibility of the household.
Is it from their garden?
Yeah,
It's the responsibility of the house owner.
yeah.
They need to cut that back.
Towards Dow side rather than the Hallmill side.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe close, I should think, never know.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one really that along comes from these recreation grounds.
Yeah, those ones there. They started growing again, have they? We can do that as well. Depends how far that other bit is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll check whether any other else.
Yeah, if it's next door, we'll chuck it down. Right.
I've got a question from Sue Vick, because Sue couldn't come tonight, she's on holiday. Nick had told her that the delivery for these pots, were going to be in May, so she's purchased plants. And I've got some in my back garden because she's on holiday. But is this definitely a delivery for the 23rd of June of these planters?
Well, I can't say
We don't
definite until they've confirmed it, but that's the new
That's the
estimate.
estimate, okay.
But they will phone me to confirm delivery date, but then obviously we need to fit in
Yeah.
when the contractor can drop them off, because unfortunately, because they're next to the highway, they have to be put in place by a contractor with a highways ticket,
Yeah.
and that's not John Hill, so it's someone else who's doing it for me.
The reason I ask, because obviously with the date in
Oh,
May,
sure.
it's going on and on.
Yeah.
It's moments and I'll get granted.
Yeah.
The other question I got, I came home on a Friday night at 10:30. Outside Medellin, there was a man with an orange jacket on and stripes, silver stripes on it, with a camera, and he was looking over towards Meadowdean. And I said, "Excuse me, can I help? Because you live outside by my fence." And he said, "Yes, I'm looking for bats." Bats? I said, "I've never seen any bats from the front." No, he said, "There isn't any bats in the front, but the back of Meadowdean is full of bats." So I had gone then a couple of days later into Mannering Close, and I spoke to one of the men there, and he's got loads of bats in his back garden. So they are around, but I wondered, had Meadowdean been passed for housing?
Come through, yeah, has it?
No,
No.
only heard anything.
No.
There was actually a survey as part of the application,
Yeah.
so that's probably what he was doing it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
That's
bats would be automatically done
Yeah.
as part of the ones that people they ask.
Yeah, because they usually have to check for bats.
They
don't
do, yeah.
But I'll be honest, if it's up the back of the building, if they're going to extend, I don't know, because I can't remember what the planning papers.
He'll report back, it will be one of the consultees, so yeah, it will be in the report,
That's all
yeah.
I wanted to know.
I might have a read of that.
Pauline, just one other thing, the chap from the Premier Store put a message on Facebook saying he'd been trying to get hold of
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the council,
Daniel.
and he hadn't had any response.
Yeah.
Well, we tried with Facebook Messenger and that let us down, basically. Leonard's, I found it now.
We have been in
Wasn't-
good communication with him about sponsorship.
So I did say to him that there was a meeting tonight.
Yeah,
I did message him now, so
he's all good.
we're on
He's
it.
got what he needs.
We're on it now.
Okay.
Facebook Messenger is not reliable, as we now realise.
Sometimes it doesn't go through.
No, it doesn't. And it
No,
doesn't
or
show
it's
you've got
in
messages
some-
or.
Cyberspace.
Yeah, it's a very unreliable app,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Any more? Colin, you find?
Vegetation encroaching on the pavement, that came up about a year ago, and in the chairman's notes in the Bible, this was mentioned, I think on 2 occasions, asking people to just cut it back.
Yeah.
So obviously it doesn't make any difference to.
Might have changed house owners. Yeah. It
His
might be
wife
worth
is
just
very
putting it on there.
Put it on the
garden
page, on,
fences there.
Well, out on
His
the
wife
river
is in.
side as well.
So whether it's been a problem there, I'm not sure.
Just
I think everywhere in the village you've got someone
Oh, yeah.
with a bush of some sort way over the fence or the wall.
Yeah.
And especially down in Lower Road here, where the pavement's only about
That's narrow,
2
yeah.
foot.
You don't need much to go over your water. Get on there. We'll put a message out. Okay. That it? No more?
Somebody did ask Is there a reason why there's not been much put into the rival, the editor of the rival house? You know, there's not much from the parish council. You know, before Nick used to write the thing, don't think he's done one.
Well, we did the fate article this week. For this issue, there was the article about fate
Yeah, that was the one that went in.
by me.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah.
But about,
So we're taking turns
Oh,
more
right.
now. So we basically don't want to have the
I
chairman's
mean, I
notes,
saw
we
the
just
fake,
take
but
turns.
I was thinking more of a general one, you know.
Yeah, I think they put the fake one in instead for this
Yeah.
one. Some people saw it.
Yes.
Sorry.
And of course the Riverdale one was from Mike Innes, so that was from us as well.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
I'm sure there will be more put in.
Yeah.
Right, that it? Right, okay. Planning matters.
Right, first one then is the London
Tree
Road
preservation, yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Fel One Beach. They usually bin
that's
right through it if they want to take one down. There's usually a reason for it.
I've just done a couple of the pictures. They're saying it's causing a nuisance.
There's the pavement, I mean the...
Yeah.
Pavement's lifting, the
Yeah.
bird
I think you've got that in the back.
Yeah.
That's the tree.
No, it's not
Where's
there.
that?
It's near the bowling at the top.
It's at the top.
Yeah.
As you come up. Yeah.
I saw the aerial view.
Have you seen the notice board at the seafront?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, of course, he's bringing the pavement up. Yeah, that one. There's not much pavement there, so those look.
Looks a car over
It's a beech tree.
Well,
It's a shame, but
But he was there when he bought the house.
Yeah, it was,
he
and
said.
he used to enjoy it, but
Yeah.
now it's just he's too old to can't
yeah,
manage it.
and it gets too. Yeah, they need to get it down.
I mean, it is the only tree in the space in that area as well.
Whether they plant another one, I don't know. You can't plant quite on top of it, but they might. But obviously, if they've applied, it depends whether they agree to take it. They'll probably take it down if it's
Yeah, they
bad.
said they won't have it plowed.
Yeah, we'll find out. Probably. It is causing quite a bit of damage, so. Oh yeah, it's bringing up that, isn't it? At the back there, yeah. It probably will end up coming down, but we'll wait and see what the council's, well, the tree preservation officer up at
Yeah.
things. But apart from maybe, hopefully they might plant another one, or whoever goes in the house eventually might. Yeah, can't see, isn't much to object about it, unfortunately. It does look old. That trunk's
Yeah,
split.
it's
As
a big-
it's
it's a
quite
well,
big
this
one.
trunk is split in two as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, so what's that
So
one?
we say no.
No
comment?
objections to that, comments to that one. Right, Homestead Wood, Crabble Lane. Have you got anything?
There is a.
It's more for security, isn't it?
It's
I know they say it's Kent only, but
It's more really for security of for the Gurkha volunteers who are up there to stay overnight, but also he's intended on running through environmental courses as well. So there might be some people who are on the courses staying up there as well.
Which would be quite
In
good if
future.
they do one. Yeah.
but how are they going to get there, like water supply and
They have got I think they've got some sort of water supply up there.
Yeah.
Uh,
They got composting toilets anyway up there.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And if they have fires and things like that?
Oh, it's well controlled when he does
Oh,
that.
it is,
Oh
yeah.
yes, yeah. He's very
Oh,
he's very good with that. He knows how
And
to
clearing
cook
the
them.
rubbish and all that.
He's always cleared his own rubbish. It's
Yeah,
just that you
okay.
do get a bit of fly tipping up towards the top of
Oh, okay.
Crabble
Yeah,
Lane.
yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah, the planning statement at the back of the is something that planning neglected to publish, despite the fact that it was sent to them. So that's a bit of new information. And I spoke to the owner, well, he phoned me and just said this wasn't included. He'd like it to consider
Oh, yes.
as part of the application. Quite why they didn't include it, I don't know.
Sitting on someone's desk.
I don't like him very much.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it would be quite good actually. And it would, if they're
It
on
might
the,
stop the fly tipping as well.
we
And
say
the
no
bikes.
people are up there, it will.
Yeah.
The future plans we give future works including community vegetable plot, sensory garden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mention
Century
mention.
Garden's good.
Yeah. So they'll actually do work on it as part of
Yeah.
the project, that's nice.
And the
Yeah.
proximity of the proposed area What's up to the gardens on Deanwood?
Quite a way away. You've got all the
Yeah,
trees
it's quite
in
big,
between.
yeah.
Yeah, you've got the trees in between as well. It's not straight onto their garden. They can't we can't, I don't think they can actually see it because it's,
So far away, yeah.
Quite a big
Fiddlesticks.
area.
well, there's,
around
there's
it,
trees
isn't there?
around the site as well.
Yeah, it's quite a big area around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, I just want to go up there one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the wider plans for it's
Yeah,
realistic what
yeah,
it's trying
no,
to
very
achieve. Yeah.
There's no comment.
It's not just a campsite, is it?
No, it's going to do a lot up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, which would be useful.
Mm.
Might get the schools going up there.
Yeah.
So do we want to no comments or support it or?
We support it.
Yeah, I think we support that.
Ocean Road extensions of existing drop code, that's taking part of the wall down, isn't it? Next door.
And also taking public parking away as well.
It's basically,
Isn't it just?
I mean,
I
it's, the
think
wall
so
is
as
already
well.
down, it's just an extension of the curb.
Yeah.
Opposite you, Clive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yes. Another one.
he wants to extend this one. I mean, they can't park there anyway, really. I mean, people don't tend to park there because
Yeah.
his car's on the drive. So
No, it's taking
But it's
parking
still
because
take,
of-
yeah.
it will take
because of-
parking.
Because of
It's not going to get turned down, is it?
He's not going to
Yeah.
get turned down, no.
He won't get turned down, will he? No.
Unlikely.
Too much precedent along Lewisham Road.
There's too many of us done this.
It's going to create even more problems for the schools
Yeah.
and the parking
Yeah.
and all of that.
You were the last one.
But if you well, you probably have, but I mean, there's so many that are opened up now.
And if you go
So
in
there
that
is-
No, well, I
bit,
know you can't find anything.
No.
No wonder.
it's unlikely they'll turn it down, even if we
Yeah.
objected. It's unlikely because he's already got one there. So they'll
yeah.
just extend it.
I know he's almost taken a parking space without drop
Yeah, anyway,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's extended his driveway.
Yeah.
I haven't actually. I'm not saying they don't, but I haven't actually seen a car parked in front of it.
Well, you wouldn't, would you?
No, you wouldn't
Naturally,
if you
as a
saw
driver, you
it,
wouldn't.
even though it's
Yeah.
Taking a
technically.
space without.
He's just
Anyway,
going to get there.
yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Mm.
No objections.
Okay.
No objections? Obviously there might be some, but I can't see. He's extending it. It's right in the
No.
corner, is it, Bump Island?
Yeah, fine,
But two of the houses opposite have done exactly the same.
Exactly,
haven't
yeah,
Yeah.
one did it
Both.
a few months
So-
ago. Yeah.
And it got approved.
Yes,
And,
the two of them got straight approved. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either 95 and 90 something, wasn't it? I remember now.
Yeah, they did them because they'd already taken their wall down and yeah. So there were no objections.
And then
Oh, and then we've got the heat
yeah, the
Source.
boiler.
pump.
didn't know that you needed.
You need planning permission if it's in certain
because
places.
it's outside the building.
Yeah,
Back.
yeah, you need planning permission.
I haven't printed any more from that. It's just basically a heat pump
Yeah.
outside.
Oh,
It's
it's
not,
very
I mean, he
small.
needs it, doesn't he? He's not interfering with anything, is it?
I'm not quite sure that it's
No,
It's going to be slightly
Yeah.
noisy.
lots of
They are
houses gonna-
slightly
yeah,
noisy.
all the houses are going to have them at one point.
Yeah,
All the
they
new
will.
builds are going to have them, so.
Yeah.
Quite a few new builds are having them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, he's got the steps up, hasn't he? So he's going to be against his wall, part of his steps.
Mm.
Yeah, I did look. Yeah. Must be a reason it can't go round the back. Maybe the road's too high or too near to, because it has to be so
The
many feet.
wrong place.
Has to be so many
Yeah.
feet from your neighbours if possible. So you might be not able to do that. Of course, it's not very. Yeah, it's not very big, is it? Yeah, you'll get a few of these, I think. They do need permission. As it's out, yes, it's outside. It's at the front.
I think it's the
Seem-
it's a good way
It's
forward.
environmentally friendly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the way forward.
It might not look
Although you do need
pleasant.
alternative heating as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, they don't heat.
It's no different from people having air conditioning units on their house.
Yeah.
No,
Which is
they're
really
noisy.
important. Yeah,
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 it is, yeah.
There's
They
no
are
difference.
I haven't got. Anyone got objections to that? We've got the decisions.
Yes. So they're all on the agenda. So 100 Lower Road, a certificate of lawfulness proposed for the erection of a rear dormer extension, 2 front velux to facilitate loft conversion, granted. Crown raised to 5.2 metres, 1 purple leaf plum, that's actually the one on the corner of the, just beyond the recreation ground, that's one we've had done. Had a preservation order on it, so it needed permission. That was being granted. And the River Garage site has been granted as well.
With the hedgehog roadway.
But it's a much better plan this time.
It's definitely.
Yeah, his is identical to the other ones that are there, so yeah, it's quite good. Right, financial matters.
Right. Okay, this is the statutory stuff, I'm afraid. Please try to stay awake. So, I think you've all got copies of these. First page is the annual internal audit report, part of the annual return. We had our books checked by a retired accountant, Tony Kilby. He's done it ever since I started at the Parish Council, so he checks through everything and signs it all off with all my figures, balance, and I've got the correct numbers in. And then that's item A. Item B is the annual governance statement. You might want to look at this, so section 1, the annual governance statement. If you look at that in conjunction with the written, basically you ought to know what I'm signing you up to. So we've so the governance statement is basically checking our processes and procedures. So all of the statements have been answered in positive, yes, and the reasoning behind it is all laid out in the NALC annual practitioner's guide, which is a very large document which gets released annually. So statement 1, effective financial management. That's all about budgets. Budgets are prepared and approved before setting the precepts, and then monitored at times during the year. I am your appointed responsible financial officer in accordance with section 151 of the Local Government Act. A system is in place to accurately and promptly record all financial transactions and update accounting records. So accounting statements agree with underlying financial records, bank reconciliations presented at each meeting, surplus funds invested appropriately. So that's all the financial management, so I've ticked yes to that. 2, basically our standing orders, our system of internal control. So again, your responsible financial officer has the formal responsibility for the management of orders, payments, VAT, safeguarding of public funds, etc. All payments authorised by 2 of the elected members. Any changes to the arrangements, mandates, signatories, accounts have to be approved by the Parish Council before taking place. Item 3, taking reasonable steps to ensure ourselves that there are no matters of actual or potential non-compliance. All payments that we make are subject to some sort of statute. Parish councils are not able to spend the money on whatever they like. So I do check that we are spending money in the correct orders, and that there are laws in place to cover those kinds of things. Proper opportunity during the year for the exercise of electors' rights. Audit notifications, the exercise of public rights and the external auditors review, posted on notice boards and online in accordance with the requirements. Now the period of the exercise of public rights this year will be Monday 30th of June to Friday the 8th of August, and in that period any person interested is entitled to contact the clerk, view the accounts, take copies of any bills, invoices and receipts, etc.
Notice board is that put on the
It's published on our 3 notice boards and it's put online on our website. And that covers
Where is the physical notice board?
Village Hall,
Oh, the village hall.
next bus terminus,
Okay.
and on near the top entrance
Okay.
to recreation ground.
Right. Okay.
So assessment of risks. So we have our bespoke insurance cover, which is reviewed each year. Each year I get a review document when I go through it, update anything that needs updating, and any risk assessments are then carried out as and when needed. So for example, we have a risk assessment for the fate, and we had something for the recreation ground that had to be carried out last year as well. System of internal audit, so again that's back to Mr. Kilby, who does our internal audit. 7, appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from internal and external audit. Well, Mr. Kilby's happy with the accounts. After the audit is done, I get an external report and they will tell me anything that they're not happy with and anything that they want to see changed, and I do act on anything they suggest. So yeah, any matters reported during audits responded to. They were talking question 8 about significant events, but there have been no significant events during the financial year which have had any consequence on our parish council finances. And then finally 9, we don't hold any trust funds, anything like that, so that was not applicable. So that is all of the annual governance statement. Now I will ask the chairman of the meeting to sign that on your behalf. What's suggested you just write your name rather than sign it, because it's got to be published.
Oh, right. Yeah, you'd never read it, have I?
And it's that line there. On the
Just
top.
write it.
Yeah. Thank you. Right, okay, last bit. Accounting statements. So that's section 2. This pretty much follows along from what I presented at the last meeting and at the AGM. These are the figures that the auditors wish to see. They're not interested in a complete breakdown of what we spend monies on. All they want are to see what the precept is, what other receipts come in, costs related to staff, which can be salaries, expenses, it can be training if there's any training that takes place, and then all other payments. And that obviously gives a balance to carry forward. And then the final figure at the bottom there, number 9, is our total fixed assets. I'll produce an asset register which also goes forward with the annual return. When I've got everything finished, I will send you all a copy of all of the documents, so you've got everything. So that would include bank reconciliation, fixed assets, and also any variances from the previous year have to be explained as well. So I'll let you have a copy of all that when it's all done. So I'm hoping then I can find the final bit. Has anyone got any questions for me?
So the only question I have with that one is, I think originally the chair mentioned that in another meeting that you'd almost ring fenced for clean house work, right?
Yeah.
So when you submit the accounting statement, do you have to qualify, why there's so much being held?
Yes, I will need to say to them that we have a project that's waiting for.
Yeah, and how much is being
And how
held?
much is being held
ring-fenced
for it.
that, okay, right.
But actually, I'm not sure whether they'd, with the level of reserves, it's probably not not too far beyond.
Okay.
The recommended amount is half the annual precept anyway.
Okay, fine.
So we're a bit more than whole
Yeah.
year. So,
Yeah.
but I will explain to them anyway what,
Yeah, I think
what the
it's
situation
good
is.
because it means when we're fundraising,
Yeah.
there's a justification.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, they're like, why are you asking for money? We've got all of that. Yeah.
I'll have to
So
find
it'd
it.
be good to have that published.
I'll find it. Accounting statements at the
Oh,
end of the
okay.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
In there somewhere. Okay, so that's
That's all
ABC. So we're then on to financial reports. I think you've all got a copy of the financial reports for April and May.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I have sent you a digital copy which includes full data, including copies of the bank statements. So the financial report, this is 2 months, April and May. So our income over that period, obviously the precepts come in, 2 months of the office lease, 2 months of the cafe lease, 2 months of the cafe utilities. We've had £350 towards the fete, and River Bowling Club have paid us for last year's use of water. That's 824.99, so 71,202 in the 2 months. But that's obviously the majority of our income for the year. So the accounts balance between what's in the bank and receipts and payments. On the back, you've got a copy of all of the transactions, expenditure in the last 2 months. So they're regular things, the electricity in both months, handyman cleaning of the recreation ground. The Office 365 annual subscription, it's subscription time, beginning of the financial year. Some other handyman costs there, play area, repairs, annual subscription to Calc, groundworks, refuse, banking service charges. And then on the May costs, some
Insurance renewal.
are paid for our report from the World Trust. Insurance renewal came out.
When was the last time we reviewed or sort of looked around for alternative insurers?
Last
Well,
year.
Was
we're-
it? Okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean
That's
we're
fine.
in. We signed a long-term agreement
Okay,
which
fine.
keeps the price sort of
Okay.
level.
That's fine.
So we're in year 2 of that. Year
Okay.
it's a 3-year. So next year we'll be sticking with them.
Okay.
Basically, Gallagher Insurance are a broker, and they used to give 3 quotes, but last renewal they found that the market had contracted so much that they were only recommending Hiscox insurance policies. So next time around, we decided at that time to go with that, but next time around we might want to look and see if there is anything else better. But we've been with Gallagher's for quite a while. They've been quite good to us. Hall hire from the church. Those are sort of quarterly payments. Our donation to the Kent Air Ambulance. So those are the costs of 14,500 over the 2 months. And one other thing to note is that I did say at the last meeting that I was saying about requesting opening a second
Yeah. Highly
account.
interested.
Well, looking at it, the account from Unity, the higher interest account, had a minimum of 85,000 that they required in the account for the entire. It's a 6-month account for the entire 6 months, and if you dip beneath that, then you lost the extra interest. So what So I spoke to Chairman and said what I'm proposing is just to simply push more money into our existing instant access deposit, which we've done. So it is above the FSC limit, but I think we're reasonably safe with Unity Trust Bank. They're not going to go bust on us. So yeah, we'll be getting a bit of extra interest in there. Are there any queries? And the final thing, following on from our problems at the last meeting, at the AGM, 25 minutes of issues getting there. Chairman asked me to.
Not working properly.
No, we didn't get to work. Luckily, one of the ladies from the
Didn't have a look at
kitchen
my
had gone home.
Yeah.
I know it didn't work in time.
Yeah, Chairman asked me to
Apparently
look at
second year.
cost of getting a data projector. Epson seemed to be one of the most popular brands. Optima and Acer were there as well, but it seems to represent pretty good value. It's got the right kind of lumens. Looking at 3,000 to 3,500 lumens for a small meeting room. We're not going to be doing any outdoor theatre with it or outdoor cinema with it. If you, I could.
Well, why are you buying one?
I could look at the 10. I could look at the 10 grand one. That's
We want the TV screen on.
Live football, all that sort of
No,
activities
tempting.
going.
And this one was so it's £337, so quite reasonable. 12,000 hours for the lamp in eco mode. New lamps are about £100, so they're not too much money. So if
How often do we need a projector in a year?
it would then get used every month for planning, anything rather than copying.
That's good.
Do away with all of that and we
That's
look
good.
at things on screens.
Okay.
Should say
Excellent.
link and.
No, that's a good justification.
And if we went with that, then I think there's a case for £22, so I'd recommend we get that as well. It comes with a 36-month warranty. If we wanted a longer warranty, I could look into that.
Does it come with a screen? Because it is.
I've got screens,
Okay.
so I can just bring the screen in. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
If it's to reduce the paper.
Oh God, definitely.
Yeah, and it means everyone
Environmentally
that
friendly.
tunes in can see the
Yeah,
notes.
it's
Without having to look on the computer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it a lot better. Yeah.
So do you want a proposer for that? And
How was that? Yeah. Seconder?
Yeah, I can second that.
I presume we're all in favour of buying a projector?
Lucky the projector here didn't work for our AGM then.
Yeah.
Otherwise we wouldn't have done it.
I think a lot more are using them now.
Yeah.
Right.
that's it.
Right, recreation ground matters. Annual play area safety inspection.
Yes, as well as our quarterly inspections by Safe Play, we do have an annual play area safety inspection, which actually they look at the entire grounds. They do all of the facilities, including the gym equipment, benches, bins, everything pretty much. And they also give us a valuation for all of it, which is quite good for insurance purposes. And this is actually not Safe Play. This is their play inspection company, different company. So we haven't got Safe Play marking their own homework. I haven't got it here I can email it through to you. They're very lengthy documents. Basically, they found everything was in good order, as it should be, because Safe Play keep working on it. The only thing they found was a problem with the clatter bridge in the old Crabble Lane play area. But I think that was the inspection was done before Safe Play were asked to do something on it, because we've just recently paid them for a repair.
Yeah, there's a transaction, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I'll check it,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking it's probably the inspection was done before the work.
Okay.
They've picked up on a lot of low risk things. I mean, they also said about some places where the wet pour was needing work, but again, I think Safe Play have already done that.
Okay.
But I'll go around and look at it. But apart from that, they were saying about little bits of rust, wear on shackles. It was all sort of they were picking up little tiny bits.
Yeah.
They went on about the bin in the travel lane player. It's got some sort of, it's sort of like cigarette marks in the top, and they've been saying it ought to be replaced.
Did you get green and amber or red? That's another question.
You'd be replacing it constantly.
Yeah.
We would,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, someone did that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, they're at a stage where they're picking
Okay.
tiny little holes in things. So yeah, that came out very well.
What's the parents?
Recreation ground signage, following on from our little problem with the boy that was locked in the lavatory.
Oh yeah.
There's a song in there, isn't there? But he wasn't there from Monday to Saturday though. But I have put some temporary signage up, and I was due to get some permanent signs. Luckily, I was tardy with that because they're having to change slightly because Alanay have now been taken over by a German company, and they're working German hours.
Oh.
So they're going to be finishing at 5 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock
Yeah.
German time.
Yeah.
So they'll lock up at 5 rather than 5:30. So what I'm thinking I'll do is I'll get stick-on vinyl signs and they can go over the existing ones, so there are any changes. They
Yeah,
can,
that sounds
yeah.
good.
I'm glad you're upgrading the temporary ones. I saw the temporary ones and I was like, oh, is this what we're doing?
They're
Temporary,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, they are a bit-
the name?
I'm not sure, they've changed it once before, but
They
I'm
did,
not
didn't
sure
they,
if they're
yeah.
changing again, I'm not sure. Yeah, 'cause they're no longer Alanay, they're Sapphire. Aren't
Sapphire,
they?
yeah.
So, so that's and then the final item is the funding plan.
Well, suicide bench.
Suicide
Oh,
bench.
suicide bench,
Yeah.
sorry, sorry.
Which is, I think everyone's got a copy of it.
Yeah.
You've got a copy of it in front of you there.
It's an extremely good idea.
Really good.
So this lady just contacted me out of the blue.
Yeah.
So she's interested in having the bench put there by this charity called Legends on the Bench,
Yeah.
which has a plaque, 24-hour helpline number and a scannable QR code, solar power so it also lights up at night, and it's actually dedicated to somebody who they lost
Yeah.
recently.
I think we should aspire to have another one in the village. I think that should be an aspiration.
In the recreation ground?
I think it should go in the rec, but I think
Yeah.
long term we should aspire to have
Yeah.
another one because I think it's really good and
Yeah.
important. And she hasn't asked for it to go in particular, actually. She hasn't said.
No, I was proposing I'd meet her down there and see
Yeah,
if
have a
she had
look
any
around.
suggestions.
Yeah.
It needs to be somewhere where people
It's
can see
prominent.
it. Prominent, yeah.
But not so that it's vandalised or anything.
Or
like
not
that.
that it gets in the way of something
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah,
move
but
through.
we need people to see it. Can't
Yeah,
we? Under a
definitely.
tree where
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
it's meant to help people, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
What I was thinking of, actually, if you the photo on the top right, the nighttime one does show that the bench there is on a plinth,
Yes.
and all of ours are on concrete plinths. So I don't know if the council wished to get a plinth
Yes,
made
I think it
for
needs
it to go on because it would
Yeah.
last a lot longer,
And
then
if
it
you've got
can be
ones on plinths already, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it can be screwed down to the plinth,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
it's a
okay.
bit more
So it won't go
secure.
missing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can offer her that as well.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
So do you know how much that might cost?
I'm not sure.
Concrete's
I
gone
can
up,
get it.
baby.
I'm just wondering. I think we should, but I think we should maybe just understand the cost
Yeah.
before.
We can get
We
it
can
quite-
ask her to pick a placement
Yeah.
where she'd like it,
Yeah.
and then maybe we then also.
Yeah. Well, I can ask John to give us a cost. As to what
Yeah.
it costs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it could
Yeah.
even be along in front of where Flint, you know, where the Flint house is and the cafe is, you know, just along that wall on the concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Get
no.
by the cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You can't have it out too far because you can't drive.
No,
really
not too
fast.
far, but it could be, you know.
Might be a spot for it.
Might be one, yeah.
Could be a good solution.
Yeah.
Well, shouldn't you look out on the football field, really?
Well, if it's in front of there, you can
Yeah,
look
that's
out.
looking out.
Yeah, you are looking out.
Then that's looking straight over onto the children's playground, isn't it?
Yeah.
If someone's in crisis, that's
Oh,
not the
rather
best
than
place to
sit
put
down
it.
in football.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, meet up
Yeah.
with her. and
Well, you
see.
can find a cost of that, and then you can
Yeah.
Yeah.
might discuss with her if she wants to where she might like to put it. She might have an idea already.
Yeah.
Madam Chairman, when we've had the rec, the fete in the rec, you know, in the, where the bowls club is, there is a like a turning circle there, but it's quite tight when you know when you turn.
Yes.
So that's just suggesting try to help. You know, we need to be be aware of that. when
Yeah,
you're
because you can't
thinking
put
of
everything in there because you take
Yeah.
the space away from it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was only just as
No,
a
it's-
suggestion,
yeah,
as
that's
having
fine.
done the vein for so long.
Yes, it's not that big, is it?
No.
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 Yeah, that's good. To get a quote and then ask her maybe if she's got an idea, and then we can say yes or no to that. Okay, we'll wait for the cost on that. Flint House. My favourite one.
Yes, I'll leave this. I think everyone's got a copy of the fund.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a first draft really, just to get the ball rolling of the kind of thing I think a funder would like to know. So I tried to put all the things that you gave me together. I've in italics I've said kind of more information pieces that I think a funder would need. So you know a little bit more about the history. That book that you lent me was really good, but obviously I didn't write down notes from it.
Yeah.
So I need to maybe borrow it again and fill that in with some more information. I was quite curious about the population profile for River as well, and the fact that it's quite a good range and mixture.
It is very mixed.
Yeah, but that you've also got area, you know, sort of deprivation statistics as well, and a kind of inactive, active population and single family households as well. So all of that kind of thing you can draw on when you're making a funding application to explain why you'd like to have more community facilities, you know, made available for the community. I did have a conversation at the AGM around the village hall and you know what sort of gaps there are and needs there are, and if there's demand, but we'll need to be able to demonstrate that there's a need to invest in doing up the space because there's a shortage of public space. So for example, Cravel Mill, do they never rent it out? Is it ever used for anything? If
They've
not,
had the
why
odd
not?
Wake
I know they
there.
do the beer festivals and
Yeah,
things
they've
like
had the
that.
odd wake, I think, and,
Yeah,
and maybe the odd, I think they've had the odd wedding reception or engagement party, very small.
they don't do a
They
great
don't do a
No,
lot. No.
no. So there'd be a need for us to be able to demonstrate that there is the community for community development or cohesion or for supporting those who are deprived or whatever to have additional facilities, and that's why we need it, but we'd have to show evidence for that. And so that's why the consultation is quite important as part of that. So I get the kind of wider consultation around what else would you like to see in River, and we can add that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that, and that's useful for us as the parish council to think about where we want to spend money. But for this particular project, it has to be around how often that, you know, I need sort of stats as well about, for example, on a football day, how many people actually turn up and use the space, what would they like to use it for example. Or I think you were mentioning the colour run or something the school does
Yes.
as another time to consult
Yes.
and ask. So we need to do 2 or 3 of those, collect all of that together. I'm happy to do that, enjoy that kind of stuff. And then use that then to justify the need for funding from additional sources. And the other side of it obviously is that our finances don't look too healthy. Otherwise I'll just say, why don't you just pay for it, you know? So it's that kind of balance between the two, if that makes sense.
I mean, if you provide a space, I'm sure you would fill it with
Of
people
course you would.
asking, yeah.
But you see, but funders won't fund a redevelopment of a space and an upgrade of a space unless we can already say we consulted with the community and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what the community wants.
Yeah.
Well, I know they want the figures for that.
Yeah. So hence the questions that I've got there.
Great one.
That will certainly get used.
So on for the summer fates, the proposed questions, will we collate that on old fashioned?
So I don't know.
How do we want to?
I mean, I don't know how strong's the Wi-Fi. I could do a Survey Monkey, for example, and then just have it all on a phone,
Yeah.
and then you could just do it really quickly on the phone. But I don't know how strong the Wi-Fi is. I don't want to be fussing about with that.
Probably outside Flint House is probably pretty good.
Yeah. And when we were talking about it at the events meeting, we were thinking it would be really good to have some pictures of what it looks like inside. I can get a notice if we haven't got like a board, a display. We've got a display board. Otherwise, I can borrow one from work.
I've got some display boards.
Okay, fine, so we could do a little thing where we've just got, these are the pictures of what it looks like inside, then you've got your kind of map of what you want to do with it, you know?
Yeah.
These are the kind of proposed plans, of redoing it, but what would you wanna use it for, is our main question, you know?
So you're not them to scan the QR code to access the survey monkey to answer?
Well, I don't know, I think I'd rather have conversations,
Yeah.
because they'll never do it otherwise.
No.
So in a way, I quite like the old
If you have a
fashioned way.
conversation that completes
We need
it,
volunteers to help
Yeah.
with the old fashioned way. If it's just me
that's what I'm
doing the
thinking.
clipboards, it's going to
I
be a bit
don't-
hard.
I don't know where you're going to get the volunteers from. 'Cause
No.
most of us are going to be on stools.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, which is what we talked about at the events thing.
I will add it to my rota list that
Yeah,
we need a couple
yeah.
of people there.
I mean, even if there's just two of us,
Yes.
and we're just having, I mean, for me, it's as much about the conversation as
So
it
you
is
want to
about
draw
filling in
things
the,
out
yeah,
from them.
exactly, yeah, as well as the actual ticking the boxes of how many people. It's not the quantity, it's the quality
Yeah.
Yeah,
of the
that's what they're
conversation
saying.
and what they're saying and capturing that, you know. And we could do it as a yes no tick box, like on a Survey Monkey, but you know, in a way, we also want to have the wider
Yeah, it limits
ideas
people's.
and suggestions
Mm.
from them about what they'd like to use it for. Because you've got a big space
It's
and then you've got a little meeting space, right? So, you know, could you do a yoga class in there, for example? I mean, if there isn't space in the village hall or whatever, you know.
Well, they used
I
to-
don't think it's that kind of space, is it?
We had upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be, okay,
Yeah.
fine, I don't
Yeah,
know.
just hold a class up there.
You
there's
could,
still
couldn't
one.
you? Yeah.
Well, it's not.
No, I mean, in the village hall there is already, but I'm just saying in the new
They used
space,
to be-
Okay.
Yeah.
what would you be able
We
to
used
do?
Well, we
we
used
had
to mean
the
Flint
faith
House.
committee- We used to have faith committee meetings up in, you are talking about the next to the, above the toilets, aren't you?
And
No,
we'll
under
actually
the
do-
toilet.
Bottom
Yeah,
floor.
toilet bit.
Toilets on the bottom.
They're gonna
you've got
redo it.
Yeah, we've had faith committees up there.
Not
we've had-
up the top, we mean
We
at
have-
the bottom where the changing rooms were.
That's all going to be redone.
So we're not gonna have it just the top,
No.
the bottom is gonna be for
Yeah,
the
because
rooms.
the top is rented out as an office now, you see.
Oh, right.
So we're trying to get money from various
Through all the bottom
funders
ones.
to redo the whole bottom rather than it being not used at all. But we need to know what the community would like to use it for.
I think, to be honest, if you had it the upstairs as for wakes, right, it would be a no-go because the stairs are quite steep.
They are very
it's
But
steep.
the
not-
upstairs
it's not
is-
there.
No, I know that, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that that's one of the reasons where downstairs would be ideal. You've got the car park behind you
Yeah.
and you can walk straight
And you
in.
can have
And part of the
access
proposal is
for-
to have disability access
Yeah.
anyway in there. Yeah.
I mean, I could cane up.
Okay, so for- yeah.
Yeah.
There's some links there.
Generally, there is a lot of half demand for children's birthday catering and that sort of thing. They
Yeah.
love that off.
Oh, so they could rent it out,
They
couldn't
used
they?
to
if
love, they
yeah.
loved the open space with the rec and
Yeah.
they just need some backup plan.
Mhm.
in
If it's
case it
raining or
rains.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ladies who first had the rec, they were talking to people about having a mother and toddler group.
Mhm.
There's space down there for that.
But you see, the village hall, wouldn't that be a space where you'd have that?
We've had mother and toddler groups, a music group used to be, listen, they come
Yeah.
to and that was well attended.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the children start going to school.
Yes,
And
that's
then
it.
that class,
Yeah.
you move on
Yeah,
to the
what we
next
don't want to
stage.
do is compete with, you know, it's about a complementary provision, you know?
But if we can't, if we can't have it,
Yeah.
we can recommend.
Because you're
That's
quite,
right,
you're
yeah.
quite booked as it is, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. It looks like it on your list.
Yeah.
Yes, I am booked, yeah.
Mm.
Some days 3 times, some days 5 times
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah. So if the Wi-Fi's strong enough, we could do a sort of basic Survey Monkey, but then I would have backup paper and just have the questions on that and
Yeah,
just fill that
okay.
in and then collate.
Mm.
It would be, or a Google form or whatever, you know, that's quite
Mm.
straightforward to do.
Well, we can test it, don't we?
Yeah, we can.
If the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
is strong enough.
And it can't really be more than a couple of questions because people will lose interest, that's why it's a conversation
Yeah.
more than anything else.
And they will be curious about, because a lot of them don't know that space exists.
No,
Yes.
which is why we need a kind of display
Yeah.
board to show, what's inside
I'm sure
it
you'll
and
get
to
quite
ask.
a few suggestions of what it can be used for.
Well, a
Yeah.
skate rink or a
Skate,
swimming
yeah.
pool.
Yeah.
You got lost.
My trampoline.
Yeah.
Indoor swimming pool. Yeah, you'll get a few.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, you know, feel free to sort of give feedback of other questions or to amend or change
So when
the
do you need
questions.
sort of questions?
So at least a week before would
Okay.
be good, and then like I can have a meeting then with Andrew just to finalise it all,
Yeah.
print things off and do
Okay.
hard copies of things. I mean, we could do the whole QR code, but you know they're not going to do it.
No,
They
it's
won't just
difficult.
scan it and walk away.
Exactly, yeah. So it's better to have, and I might do like a bowl of sweeties to attract the kids so that I can talk to the parent, that kind of thing as well. Scandal. Bribery. But that kind
Carrot
of thing.
sticks instead.
Carrot sticks these days. Okay, fine, we'll do a
Carrot
bowl of
sticks,
carrot
yeah,
sticks.
cucumbers.
You won't have many people.
Yeah, boring.
Okay, that's a good idea then.
Alright,
Yeah.
lovely. Thank you.
Right. General correspondence, Andrew.
Yeah, I've got actually got 3 pieces. First one's actually a letter, an actual physical letter delivered to me with a stamp in it. Dear Councillors, I'm the Secretary of the Pavilion Meadow and Chisnall Road Residents Association. At our recent AGM, several residents raised concerns about the parking close to the junctions where the 2 roads join Lower Road.
Which junction? You've got 2, haven't you?
I think they mean the one down
Bottom.
At the
down
bottom.
the bottom,
Yeah.
Near the-
not the one
near-
on the.
Near Tursney.
Yeah.
But the more dangerous one, surely, is the one nearest to at the other end, at the station.
Because you've got parking either side. Well, you've got parking either side of both.
I don't think you get much of the parking up there, do you? Whereas I
Yeah.
think you. Do you?
It's
Oh,
a
well, I'm
blind
marking.
spot, Andrew, because I go there every Friday night to drop a friend up
Yeah.
and to come back out. It's quite when, especially on that end,
You've got to come out a
you've
bit
got to
before
come
you
out
see.
and remember with the car now parked and the other road cars coming up. It's awkward to get round.
It could be both, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
Well, the Chisnall Road junction is between 124 and 126 Lower Road,
Oh, that
and the
one.
Pavilion Meadow junction is between 152 Lower Road and the Lodestone. So I think they're talking about both.
Yeah.
There are no yellow lines at either junction, and the public are parking so close to the junction, especially when the Abbey is very busy, that it obscures the sight line for anyone coming out of Chisnall Road or Pavilion Meadow. It makes it very dangerous, as you just have to edge out of the road to be able to see and hope nothing is coming. Cars have also been parked on the footpaths next to the junction, making it impossible for prams or wheelchairs to pass safely. Fortunately, there have been no accidents as yet, but this is due to the caution of our residents. As you will appreciate, this is a busy road to pass through. We would therefore be grateful if you could raise the matter with the appropriate highway department, with a view to having double yellow lines installed on either side of these junctions, giving clear sight lines out onto Lower Road. So, are you interested in me taking that to highways?
We can ask highways.
I mean, they did do redo
That's
all
gonna
the
get rid
airways
of-
and the airlines, didn't they?
8 to
recently?
10 parking spaces because of the length they've got to go either side of the corners.
I mean,
But it is a health and safety.
Oh, yeah. We've had everything, yeah. They didn't suggest it when they did all the other lines, did they?
I did.
Just done them, haven't they?
Yeah, they
they've
have just done them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way along that bit.
Yeah.
I suppose they were just refreshing what was already there, weren't they?
Yeah,
Well, they did extend it a little bit, but that way, didn't they?
Yeah.
yeah. There's a whole gap
Particularly
in
at the moment
between.
now, you've got all those parking spaces.
Yeah.
I had a quick read of the highway improvement pack
Oh, yes.
before coming out, and it does say that before anything goes too far, that the parish council should do its own consultation with the local people,
Yes.
and if there is significant opposition to it, that highways might decide not to go ahead, and any costs that have been incurred would be payable if the parish council are paying for it anyway. So if I speak to highways and see what they say, and then
Wouldn't they do an assessment anyway, an initial assessment?
they will also do a
Yeah.
consultation, official one.
Yeah.
But I think they're
Before they
saying
do
that
that and spend money.
Ah,
That one
there's,
has to
there's
do.
quite a lot of spending before you get to that point. So each of them trying to test the water.
Yeah.
So if it would be a case of putting leaflets indoors all the way along those where those junctions are.
Yeah.
And
And
see
the
what
residents
response
of
is.
Pavilion Meadow.
I think the residents will be fine. It's all the visitors that park on that piece.
Yeah, it is.
Very expensive.
Although it's quite full of a night, I must
Is
admit.
it?
Yeah.
Never really noticed it.
On both sides?
Well, you can only park one side.
Yeah.
Size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never really noticed it.
Yeah, especially when you come round the bend. That one
Yeah.
goes all the way up to what was the pub.
Yes,
Yeah.
that bit is-
Always.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
I know
always
people
full.
have driveways,
I
but
think we
yeah.
struggle with that bit.
Yeah.
I think the other junction with Pavilion Meadow, that's probably more realistic. to lose those parking bays. But
That isn't quite so bad of an evening
Yeah.
as you get further up the road.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the residents' association, so you see they might be prepared to help
to
out.
do leafleting.
Put leaflets indoors.
Yeah.
So you won't. So speak to them first, or do you want to speak to Highways first?
Well, I'll respond to the letter and then I'll speak to Highways
Okay.
Yeah.
and see what
Okay.
they say. If they say it's potential goer,
Yes.
then we can
Go
have
from
some
there.
consultation. But it'll take some time anyway.
will.
It's not going to happen.
But it impacts Pavilion Meadow and Chisnall Road. So by doing this would then mean that those houses along Lower Road are impacted
Of
for
course.
their benefit, and that seems a bit.
Detriment to them.
Yeah.
That's why they want a survey, so they get everyone's views of the people
Yeah.
that live in
Doesn't
both.
feel, there's
Yeah.
no garages down there, is there? Because
No.
there's all the
No.
houses around.
Up the
It just doesn't
sides.
feel very.
Yeah.
We can ask people, but I can see if I was living on Lower Road and losing multiple parking bays.
Yeah.
There's
Where do
nowhere else
they
to
go?
There is
Yeah, they've got
nowhere.
nowhere.
No, for the benefit
But
of the
we-
residents.
as Andrew
and
asked,
It's
private
whether
roads.
it's health and safety though will
Doesn't always trump the.
does it not?
No,
No.
it's been like this probably for.
Because you could have the whole river with double yellow lines then.
Yeah, you could.
And those houses are what?
Because of the tight turnings
Yeah,
on a lot
yeah,
of
there are a
roads.
lot of tight turnings,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, everywhere, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So if Andrew contacts Highways to find out,
Yeah,
and then we
so
can go
okay.
from
I mean,
there.
they might be able to say whether it's even a goer.
Or did they
you
look
know,
at it
or
when
not.
they did the other
Yeah,
lines?
yeah.
They might have already looked at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they did extend the lines along
Yeah, but we
to
can
either
ask,
side of
we can
there.
ask,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite detrimental.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's the first one. Second one. So I did have a response from Grace Dennis regarding the. I explained that we weren't able to assist financially with the Kersney Abbey Play Area project due to our own problems, resolving issues at the recreation ground. She says, although it's disappointing, River Parish Council is not able to become a project partner in the Kersney Abbey Play Area project. I understand the need to focus resources on resolving issues at River Recreation Ground. We will continue to engage with River Parish Council as a key stakeholder and will keep you updated on how the project is progressing. We are due to consult with residents again this summer, specifically around design and what children would like to see at the play area. So I will share the resident survey with you when it's live.
Mhm.
So
That's interesting that that's their take on the letter.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, okay, let's do a quid pro quo on it.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Rather than the
interesting?
issue at hand.
Yeah, yeah. How interesting.
And then finally, I've had several letters from this gentleman before who lives in sort of to the behind the recreation ground next to the Creble Lane play area.
Up
So
there.
what's that road?
Yeah, the road. Yeah.
It says we were woken up at 6:30 a.m. Because this is on the 31st of May. We were woken up at 6:30 a.m. because of the lawn mowing at the rec. I understand the rec needs to be kept in good condition, but around 6:30 a.m. is not really very neighbourly. Is there a reason why this was done so early? Can it be avoided in the future? The rec is loud enough at the late hours of the night without it being loud in the early hours of the morning. We don't seem to get any respite at all now. Yes, I realise if we don't like it, we should move, but when we arrived, the rec is being locked at dusk, so we made an informed decision. I do think you should make it locked again at night to avoid crime and damage to the children's parks. If not, please consider moving the seating away from the residential areas and placing CCTV at the smaller kids' play park.
Did we move seating from there once?
I don't think we ever have.
We moved something from down there. Or put a higher fence or something. Yeah.
I mean, Jen's written to. I mean, he's in his
You've got the
view.
play
it
park
should
there,
be-
so it's
it
going to
should
be
be
noisy.
locked.
I don't know why they're mowing the lawn or something.
No, I don't. I mean,
That
Yeah,
is.
I would have a conversation.
yeah. I mean, I'll ask, but
With
what I'm
farming
imagining is it
people.
was around the time of school holidays. I wondered if they were trying to get it done before
There's children
kids
got
were out
them there.
Sounds like
playing.
isn't it?
Sounds plausible. I don't know why otherwise
just
you'd do it.
check, I
Oh,
thought.
but I'll ask them.
Because that is rather early
It is too
otherwise.
early for noise.
Yeah, it seems more reasonable.
Yeah. I didn't think they could before 7.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
residential area.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and the other thing is, well, yeah, CCTV, you'd need electricity for CCTV, and it would
We
be a
did
hell of
look
an
at that,
expense to try and get electricity all the way around there.
And we talked about the locking gate
You'd have
business.
to-
That's not doable. Yeah.
And actually, as
It's doable, but it costs.
Costs a lot of
We'll have
money.
to pay a company to do it,
yeah,
because it doesn't work, was warranty is really.
You've only got to be sick and it doesn't get locked.
and they did
Yeah.
they did find, the ladies doing it did find that they were getting complaints
Yes.
from people that it was locked. They wanted to use the gym equipment before going to work in the morning. People wanted to be in the
I mean, it
in
isn't
the rental
dark
dusk.
till what? It's what? The young boss
Yeah.
saying, it's not going to
Yeah.
get dark
It's a
till-
community resource, so it should be available to the community.
So who wants to
whenever
go
they
out at
want
half past 9 to look
But
at
then the small playground could be locked quite easy at night, and if
Yeah.
that's causing,
But that's where the teenagers are hanging out,
Yeah.
aren't
Yeah.
if that's a small part of the wreck which could be quite simply locked.
Yeah.
they?
Because they've got your other playground, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a way
We
of
have a
these
lock
houses.
for that.
I mean, there always were locks. I mean, there are locks on it, but it's getting someone to do it. I mean, it could be. It doesn't need to be that late, because if it's supposed to be a small children's
Yeah.
playground,
Yes, yes,
then it doesn't
yeah.
need to be open late.
Not at all.
Locked at 6.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nobody would want it. It's supposed for, that's our toddler area, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be.
You're not going to
The
really have
bathtub
toddlers,
by
you've got the
that
other one.
time.
haven't you?
Exactly, they can go to the game,
Mm.
which is further away from the residential. Not much, but.
I mean, if you ask me, I would lock that area and the gate next to it.
Yeah.
Just them two.
But the main gates.
Just that top gate there next to that little area. Not the main gates.
And
You
then
can
the other
still go cut
They
through.
can cut through,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think the troublemakers come in through that little sight line there, and then
Yeah.
They sit
because
there.
that's where I see the bikes and.
Yeah, you're right.
They do come and sit there, yes.
So something that we could ask Mighty, who do the toilets for DDC, if that's a thing that they do. Because they look the toilets for DDC, don't they? How much that would be for a, I know it's probably going to be
It's more
It's
the
got-
bureaucracy, I think, probably.
It's going to be more than you think.
or equivalent company. But we are spending quite a lot on repairs on the playground, and just those two upstairs, £650 worth of repairs. If we
I don't
analyse the
I don't-
repairs,
that wasn't
I
all
thought
vandalised.
people,
it's what, sorry?
That wasn't vandalised.
Right, that was just wear and tear.
Okay, but
None of that was vandalism.
every month there is.
There has been vandalism, yes.
Yeah.
Not for quite a while, thank
I mean,
goodness.
you get as many incidents during daylight hours as you do at night. Really,
Yeah.
but I thought that the people in the office closed closed the toilets
Yes.
Yeah.
in the week,
Yes.
and you close them at the weekends, don't you?
The cafe closes them.
Oh, the cafe closes.
Because I'm off that job, thank God. Because I keep forgetting it.
Yeah. But they're going to shut them now at 5 o'clock, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I have before when there was a glorious Sunday.
You
I
set off.
messaged the cafe and said, look, leave it open. I come down at 7
Yeah.
or 8, and I locked it then. Just messaged them because it was still packed in there, and I thought, I'm not wanting to mess me later.
Mm. There's the trouble, it's going to be nice and it is going to get
Yes.
used. You're going to answer him on some of the points, aren't you?
yes.
Maybe we can consider it for next month and have a discussion. Because Andrew, Nick might have some ideas as well,
Yeah.
as the rec comes under him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
Items for information, you've got anything to bring up?
Anything extra?
Any extra bits? No. I did contact Festival. I'm going to phone her tomorrow. She'll be there tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to phone her. So I've told her whereabouts they'll be for the plate.
Yes.
And she's quite pleased. Obviously, it will depend on the weather because they're coming in.
Yeah. Everything depends
Yeah.
on whether it's fake.
Yeah, because of it's going to be heavy. It will sink
I've
in its
got a
weight.
good letter, lady. Little lamb.
But yeah, if it's nice and fine, we should hopefully have quite a bit there.
Face painting
Mm-hmm.
done.
Oh,
Great fun.
thank you, Katie. Yeah, sounds good. Right, if there's nothing else, I'll declare the meeting closed at 8:25. Yeah. Ah, yes.
Even with such a big agenda.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Gentlemen,
Thank you.
no?